Hi guys, welcome back. Let's jump straight into today's article, and it's about Mayfair, which is quite interesting. Historic walkways to Mayfair's hidden Shepherd's Market opened for the first time in, guess how many years? 300 years. Ooh. It carries on, or it starts. The much-loved historic backstreet in the heart of Mayfair has been offered a new lease of life thanks to new walkways that have been reinstated after 300 years. The passageway creates a new pedestrian route linking Piccadilly to the once scandalous Shepherd's Market for the first time in 3 centuries. Now, why do you think it was scandalous? It used to be known for its red light district business. There's a few casinos close by as well, and when you get a casino you normally get red light districts as well, unfortunately. It carries on. It is part of the 1 billion development of the area by Motcom Estate, owned by the billionaire Reuben brothers, who also own Burlington Arcade, Millbank Tower and Cambridge House, Acker Naval, the military club. The family ranked second in the 2025 Sunday Times Rich List with a net worth of 26.9 billion. Not bad. Over the past several years, the brothers have spent millions buying up sites in Mayfair to redevelop, including a half-acre site formerly Mayfair's oldest car park on Carrington Street for £70 million in 2016. In 2016, it may have seemed a lot of money, but in today's market and today's value, that was a real steal. There was a similar car park purchased just off the Marylebone High Street by a maverick who I really like called Gerald Ronson, and he's turned it into an amazing, it's one of my favourite developments in London, where the apartments, 1 beds were going for, I think they were close to £2 million, and 2 beds were £5 million, and then they were going upwards. And they've all been sold to owner-occupiers who actually reside in the units when they're in the country. Let's carry on. Here they have built a block of flats, 1 Carrington and a private members club run by Robin Burley called the Carrington, which are separated by the new walkways. Members clubs are quite renowned in Mayfair, and it's a great way to network and do business. And they have bars and restaurants and meeting rooms as well. A little bit similar to Soho House and a few of the other clubs that are in town. Let's carry on. Motcom Estate said, "We are delighted to be re-establishing this important public route for more than 3 centuries. The new Carrington Street walkway not only reconnects Piccadilly with Shepherd's Market, but also forms part of a wider vision to enhance the quality and vibrancy of the public realm in Mayfair." I'm going to come back to Mayfair at the end. By combining sensitive redevelopment with thoughtful design. Good words. I'm going to say it again. By combining sensitive redevelopment with thoughtful design, retaining the heritage and the charm and the appeal of London. I think that's amazing. The architect Edward Shepherd's Market was set up on the ground then used by the annual Mayfair, developed between 1735 and 1746 by its namesake, the architect Edward Shepherd. Oh, that's why it's called Shepherd's Market. Shepherd's Market was set up on the ground, then used for the annual Mayfair, from which Mayfair got its name. Wow, I didn't know that. Did you know that? I'm going to say that again. The architect, his name was Edward Shepherd, hence it's called Shepherd's Market or Shepherd Market, and it was set up on the ground, then used for the annual May, the month of May, fair, from which Mayfair got its name. That's one for you. By the 1920s, it was known to host leading artists and writers such as Anthony Powell, Michael Arlen and Sophie Fedorovich. Arlen rented rooms opposite the Grapes pub and used it as the setting for his best-selling 1924 novel, The Green Hat, which later became a film starring Greta Garbo. Many Brits might have more salacious associations with Shepherd's Market. The square of streets was known to be associated with sex work up until around the 1980s. See, I was right. Despite this notorious history, the market is now home to some high-end restaurants and boutiques, including Sexy Fish and also Amazonia, with local businesses saying they are pleased with the extra access being provided since the route opened earlier this month. Stephen Proffer, longtime owner of a French restaurant, L'Artiste, Muscle says the new walkway is of course very welcome. I hope there will be some signage to say it leads to Shepherd's Market. I doubt it, because even now people don't know us. Most important to us in particular is the pedestrianisation of the market, especially the main square where La Artista is situated. That's a nice call by the owner just to try and get some business, and I think it's a fair point. Proffer is in the process of negotiating with the council to have an outdoor table on the newly widened pavement in the square. We're seeing these new pavements and the widening of streets and the eradication of car lanes, which I think is a good thing. It's more pedestrianisation, it's more urbanisation, and it just connects London with a community feel, with people walking and just mingling. So I think it's a great thing. Denisa Jones, part owner of the Chill House Coffee, says she has already seen an uptick in business, even in the short time the walkways have been open. She says the shortcut is great for local office workers on a quick break that might now have more time to spend at the business. Regeneration, regentrification brings in new businesses, brings in new employment, more people, more traffic, and it's good for local businesses. So that's a good thing. We've started having some customers coming over that used to walk around the White Horse Street. Combined with the effects of the construction coming to an end, she says she's thrilled with the change. Even if it's a week, it's actually already made a small difference. So you can see that the regeneration of Mayfair is having a big impact on the local businesses, but it's also having an impact on the capital values in Mayfair. Now, what's important to note is that a lot of the properties in Mayfair are actually leasehold properties, and when freehold properties come up, they get snapped up and they're usually trophy assets. Another big player in the Mayfair market is the old American Embassy, which has been converted into the Chancery Rosewood Hotel by the Qatari DR. And they've done a phenomenal job there. They've got 7 restaurants there. It's a super luxury hotel. It only has suites. With the amount of billionaires that are visiting London and frequenting Mayfair in particular, I think it's a good call. Now, on the streets of London, we also have access to property deals, and this is a pump by me. So if you're looking for some freehold property in Mayfair, we've actually got 2 freehold houses ready to move in off market, coming in at around circa £1,800 per square foot. And in today's market, I think that that's a very good deal. So if you're interested, do get in touch. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching The Streets of London, and I'll catch you soon. Take care. Bye.